An alleged case of excessive force by a Tampa police officer, a Flagler University student here for the USF game against Syracuse, claims that he was tased multiple times, and now an attorney for the young man is taking an unusual step to get some answers. Our Serena Fazan is following this story and joins us now. Serena, what are police saying about what happened?
Brendan, Tampa Police stand by their actions and say the female officer was justified. This student, who was originally from Syracuse, says he and 7 friends planned this trip from Jacksonville for the past year. Tonight, he claims he still has no idea why he was kicked out of the game and tased. His attorney has written a letter to the governor in hopes of getting some answers.
Throw him in cuffs.
Cooper Stroman drove all the way from Jacksonville today because he wanted his story to be heard. Joined with a friend who was at the USF game against Syracuse and his attorney, John Lauro, this Flagler student claims he was tased at least 4 times and has these marks to prove it.
I'm on the ground, like, facing them, and I can see cops all around me, and the lady's sitting there jabbing the taser into my stomach, and, like, she's like, put your hands, like, behind your back, and I always just assume, like, put them behind your head, and, like, as she's doing that, she's still tasing me. She's like, that's your head, not your back. And then, like, I finally, like, get over like this, and then when I rolled over, she threw me another one right in my back.
Stroman claims he was just having a good time when he and his group were asked to leave. He claims he doesn't know why he was kicked out of the game. His group was in a heavily populated USF section, and everyone, he says, was getting along.
They did not like us in that section. We were being too loud, and then, like, I think they just assumed that everybody around us had a problem with us being there.
The allegation is troubling to Tampa Police. Spokesperson Laura McElroy says the officer, a female, followed procedure. McElroy describes Stroman as a combative and belligerent suspect who fought being ejected from the game while his friends complied.
Instead of listening to the officers' commands, he chose to get into a physical fight with the officers. They told him to get down to the ground, they told him to put his hands behind his back, but he continued to physically struggle with the officers.
McElroy says forcing the officer to drive stunned him, which means the taser was pressed to his body.
At the point where the taser touches you, it's very painful, but it doesn't freeze up your body. This individual is able to continue fighting, so it's not the same impact as a typical tasing.
Stroman is 6 foot and about 160 pounds. Lauro alleges tasing him was too much, and when is enough enough? Lauro has written this letter to the governor requesting special counsel to investigate.
I'm a former federal prosecutor, and in 30 years I've never heard of anything like this at all. And I'd like to find the answers. And the reason for special counsel is to determine why they picked on Cooper and why they picked on these gentlemen.
He also questions the charges. Stroman faces a misdemeanor, resisting arrest without violence. If he really was aggressive, like police say, why didn't the punishment fit the crime? McElroy says it's not about arrest at these huge venues.
We're not there to arrest people. We're there to make sure there's a safe environment to have fun and enjoy a football game. So we're going to eject the kids, but typically there's not a lot of charges. And this case is very consistent with that.
Stroman doesn't feel that way. He says he will never come back here for a game, but won't stop asking questions until he gets some answers.
And I hope there's cameras or something that can see what level that she used of force to do that to me and all of those other cops. There's enough manpower down there to get a 158-pound non-violent man on the ground without having to use tasers to jab me in my stomach like I'm an animal.
And Stroman says he was not drinking. There is no set policy in place on how many times a suspect can be tased. Both sides say they have witnesses. Lauro plans on asking Internal Affairs to look into the allegations. We are waiting to hear more about the officer's background.